Daytona. All right, so the schedule for the next couple weeks is weird with both ESS and IMSA. The IMSA endurance race this coming weekend is Daytona, even though the week races during the week are at Manicourt. The ones in ESS are at Daytona this coming week, and then it flips the following weekend, and the 24-hour Daytona event is coming this weekend. So we've got our Daytona track guide coming up here. I was able to get a 131.591, which I'm pretty proud of. I think the fast times are going to be like in the 129s, 130s, someplace in there. Looks to be, but I can't really say for 100% certainty. I don't think I'm going to be able to do these times during the races, though. Like it's one of those things where this is kind of me going full tilt, pedal to the metal, hell for leather kind of thing. So I'm pretty, but like I said, I'm pretty happy with it. I did have to, the first time I recorded this, I just had this camera on instead of the one where I've got the actual scene where you can see what I'm doing. So I had to go and that was a 131.7 something that I got before, so we got a couple tenths off. But anyway, we'll show you the lap. We'll kind of go through how we did it, and then we'll come back here and finish up.
Sector 2 times, okay. You've just done a 131.6. Sector 3 times, quick.
All right, we are here with our BMW LMDh at Daytona. Got ourselves a 131.591. We had done a 131.710, but I had the camera, just my big face camera, so I had to get a fast lap. So we had to go a little bit quicker. Anyhow, I'm just going through it here. Get a good speed out of the last corner. Our first braking point is going to be the last one of these white dividing lines here. So we're going to brake around here, and we're going to be pretty heavy on the brakes because we are going fast. But like, so when we brake hard like that, like we hit, this is something people have asked me about. Like, I can't brake as hard as you. Part of that is when we brake hard like that, we peak really high, but then we start coming off like almost immediately. And that gives us that triangle of our brake line, if that makes sense. With these lighter weight cars, you don't have to hold that peak pressure. But yeah, so then we are going to just kind of trail off. I wanted to go a quarter speed, there we go. And we're going to try and get as close to that tire barrier as we can while we're trailing. Then we'll get back on the throttle a little bit, and then full throttle as we got the wheel straight. If I jam on it too hard, too quick, I kick in the traction control, or worse, spin, and lose either time or the car. So we don't want to do that. But just kind of show you how close we're getting to this tire barrier here. We are getting pretty close. I might give it a little bit more room when I'm doing the actual races, because I don't, like I said, want to lose the car. I'd rather have a slower lap time than a broken car. That's me. Anyhow, full throttle through here. Our next braking point is going to be at the end of this divided white line here. Again, going to brake pretty hard. I overlapped my inputs a little bit there. Don't do that. It's not a huge overlap. It looks worse on this than it is in at full speed, but yeah. So we're gonna hit our brakes pretty hard here, and then again we're just gonna start coming off pretty quickly as soon as we do. Excuse my poor use of the English language. And then we are going to, like I said, trail brake through there. We're gonna come onto the throttle a little bit as we're exiting, and we're gonna bring it on kind of slow for much the same reasons as the last corner. I noticed if I jammed on it too quickly, I'd activate the traction control and lose a bunch of time. So if we can come on it a little bit more slowly, that's good. And we are wanting to, so basically what we're doing here as well, we're trying to maximize our use of the radius of the corner here. So we're going to start opening up the wheel here. So we start opening it up, and we're going to kind of aim to use all this section over here. Sometimes there is a gradient on the pavement here. Kind of at the white line, it kind of dips to the left there. And sometimes that can activate the traction control too there. So just be a little careful when you're doing it. And then full throttle through here. And our next braking point is going to be at the cones here. This corner is one of my worst ones on the track, so just be aware that there's probably a way better way to do this, but we're going to brake pretty hard and kind of go straight a little longer than I normally would, because we want to apex a little bit later than normal here, and you probably do it even later than I do, but I just have this habit of apexing a bit early. We are trailing just a little bit of pressure there, and then as we start to come around, we're going to start feeding some throttle in just a little bit, and then as we go around here, we're just feeding a little bit more throttle, straighten the car out. Again, we're kind of aiming, our goal is to use up all the track and come out all the way over here to our exit point at full throttle. And then just full throttle, we're going to come back on over to this side, and our next braking point is going to be this where this road starts here. This one I have a little bit of trouble too. I kind of went a little bit differently than I normally do on this lap, but it worked out pretty well, so we're just going to go with it here. We're going to hit the brakes pretty hard and start coming off and turn in and get on our throttle a little bit. This is such a weirdly angled section of track. I find it hard not to kick in the traction control, but we're just coming back on the throttle. And I went a little wide here, this time trying to avoid that traction control, and like I said, it went pretty well. And we're just going full throttle up through here. Usually I cut in a little more through that section, but it worked out fine this time. This is like only a couple laps of having been driven, so it is freshish tires and a fair bit of battery in the car. But yeah, this is all full throttle, and then our next braking point, and we'll show you here, we'll scooch forward, is going to be this light right here. That's going to be our braking point for the bus stop. The bus stop's pretty important for getting a good exit out of it. We want to have some speed when we're leaving, so that we can go quickly on that next section of oval there. So we're going to hit the brakes decently hard, and then just, like I said, immediately come off like we normally do, and then we're going to use a fair bit of this curb here. So just kind of show you how much of that curb we're using. We're using a lot of it. And then same thing with this one. Wrong button. Yeah, we're using quite a bit of that curbing because we want to kind of keep the car tight through there, is what I'm trying to do. Yeah, we're just kind of still on the brakes a little bit, and then we're back on the throttle just a smidge, and we're just kind of feeding it in slow. and then exit there, hit the curb, again on the curb, and that, I don't think there's much more curb you can use without getting it off track. Kind of show you from the outside again. I think any more there on the entrance of this, like I think any more to the right on the entry there, like you could come wider and use more of the exit part of it, but yeah, I don't think you can on the entrance. But yeah, just full throttle through here, and then that's, I mean, pretty much it. You're kind of done at this point. You just gotta full throttle through here. Just a word of note as we're going through, the apron on this corner and the last oval corner, you're not allowed to use. The one coming up here is the one called the tri-oval. It's the one down here with the pits and the start finish. That one you can use if you so choose. Right here, you can go down on the apron here. I don't, but we finished there and we got ourselves a 131.591 here at Daytona. All right, so yeah, like I said, pretty happy. Like I said, I think the fast people are going to be like a second or two faster. They always are, at least that, if not 3 or 4 or 5 seconds quicker than me. But I think it's a pretty good time, and I think I should be able to 132s, 133s when we're doing the race, and then if we get some good pit strategies down and have some luck, we should be able to do pretty well. I don't know. I haven't got any plans for the Daytona 24 if I'm going to do that or not. I've got people who would do it with me if I wanted, but it's one of those tracks that's not super my favorite. So we'll see if I can get myself psyched up for that. Maybe we'll have some good races during the week here that will make me really want to do it. But yeah. Anyhow, if you like the video, thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. If you want to see more of these track guides coming up from me, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'll also put up some full races. Try and do one of those a week as well. And then if you want to watch along live as I'm trying to do the races, head on over to twitch.tv/thepiltdownman. Anyhow, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.